Hey, my loves, it's your girl, Nicole Melissa, your resident matchmaker and relationship consultant, and I'm here to help you do your work. So, again, as always, welcome back to those of you that are rejoining me and subscribing. I appreciate y'all. I love you deep. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. It has been a pleasure. Those of you that are seeing me for the first time, I am here to help you do your work. I'm here to help you get in right relationship with your kingdom spouse because, baby, you need more than love. You need skills. Okay? So, hi. Did you miss me? We're still on accountability. We're in our meantime series, and we're talking about accountability. Okay? So the kind of accountability that I'm discussing with you guys is the things that maybe are more of an afterthought that you're not thinking to yourself really counts as accountability, but our Father says it absolutely does. Okay, so in the last video I mentioned some things. I said that you need to be accountable of what you're saying, accountable of what you're doing, who you're hanging around with, and things of that nature, okay? Because those are things that you need to be, should you be accountable, if you've done something wrong, admitting that you've done something wrong. Of course, that's taking accountability for sure. Some of the decisions you make, taking accountability, that's your standard accountability. But there's also other areas of accountability that you may not be thinking is such. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Okay, so one of the things Satan is always trying to do is set you up for failure, all the while God is trying to set you up for success. Okay, he's such a bastard that way, Satan, always trying to throw you off your game. You have to be paying attention. That's why accountability in this hour, that's why God is pushing this accountability thing, because he wants you paying attention, okay? Because the more attention you pay to what you're doing, what you're consuming, guarding your ear gate, guarding your eye gate, all of that, the harder it is for your cognitive dissonance to play such a major role in your life. Okay? So I want to tell you something. Chances are your kingdom spouse is in your vicinity, and you have not paid any sort of attention to him or her because you have been so accustomed to look for the wrong thing. Your taste is for the wrong thing. The thing that does not suit you, that is not right for you. So you are missing him or her. So I want to challenge you to pay attention to your surroundings. Okay? Let me say this actually. Put a pin in that for a second. Let me say this. One of the ways I share with people how they know, how you can understand if you are doing the work and if you've been doing the work successfully, is by a change of mindset. If your taste hasn't changed, honey, you're not really doing the work. Because when you are doing the work and you're working closely with God, he will change your taste. He's going to change your taste in men, and he's going to change your taste in women. If that has not changed, you still have work to do. Okay? That's why your kingdom spouse could be within meters of you right now, and you wouldn't be the wiser. Because your flavor is for the wrong things. So ladies, let me talk to you first for a sec. So, the same is for the gentlemen, but I want to talk to the ladies for a second here. A lot of you have a challenge with going for the alpha male. The challenge is they aren't alpha males. The guy that you're attracted to, the one that all the ladies want. Same thing for you fellas. The lady that all the men want, they're not the right ones. 9 times out of 10, they are not the right ones. 9 times out of 10, that alpha that you think is alpha, a worldly alpha, is just a pawn. So let's use this, yeah, that's a good idea. Let me give it to you like this in chess terms, okay? Now, I'm not a chess aficionado or anything like that, but I do know a little, okay? And what I do understand is that the pawn, its job really is to get in the way. It just gets in the way, doesn't it? It's just there to move around and get in the way. Okay? And so what's happening a lot, ladies, okay, and gentlemen, is that y'all are falling in love and wasting your time, and it's only a waste of time, by the way, when you don't learn any lessons, with pawns that call themselves alphas. Let me assure you of one thing. Okay, ladies? Same thing with you, gentlemen. You see your kingdom spouse, your king, see your queen, they're not sledding at all. Okay? The man that covets women all the live long day, his biggest thing is how many numbers he can get, whose attention he can get. I mean, he's on these YouTube streets telling folks how to pull women and blah, blah, blah. Your kingdom spouse, your husband, ladies, he's not a whore. Okay? I'm not saying he probably doesn't have a past. He probably has a past. He was probably raised in this world like most of us. We're raised in this world. But as of right now, while he's been in this relationship with God, baby, I assure you, he is not sludding around. Okay? Same for you, fellas. Your lady, your queen, she is not out here naked. Okay? If she's not out here sledding around, okay? So these pawns that are masquerading as kings and queens are causing you to miss your actual king and queens because they're in the way, because that's what they do. They just be getting in the way. They cause delay. They cause confusion and distraction, hurt, all of that. Okay, so you're busy trying to mend yourself because you've fallen in love with a so-called alpha. Or worse for you fellas, a feminist. Okay? Real alpha men and real Proverbs 31 women are out here building the relationship with God. Okay? They are focused. They're not the men. They're not coveting women. They're not making their life about who they can pull. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not his goal. His goal is to do what God has called him to do, to be the man that God has called him to be. Same for her. She is doing the work that God has told her to do. She is doing the things that God is asking her to do. Okay? So, I say all of that to say this. Your gentleman, your lady is going to be presented to you by God. Okay? He's going to show you who she is, and then he's going to put an unctioning in your spirit, and then you're going to know. Okay? So let me read something to you. Okay, so head with me on over to Genesis 2, and I'm going to start at 18, okay? Because I want y'all to understand something, okay? So Genesis 2:18. Then the Lord God said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper who is right for him." Pin. Y'all remember the video? You probably don't. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But there's a video that I did, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago, where I was talking about the difference between the right person and a good person, okay? And how a lot of y'all be going for the good ones, thinking that you're doing a good thing, when in actuality, the good one is not what God has for you. God has the right one for you. And how you know that he or she is right, especially you gentlemen, let me talk to you. How you know that she is the right woman is because she causes change in you. You're not changing for her. You're changing because of her. Okay? She brings you closer to God. Okay? And same thing for you ladies. He's going to bring you closer to God. Okay? God is the centerpiece. Okay? So so notice, and I'm reading out of the NLT, I think it's the NLT. Okay, so notice that it says a helper who is just right for him. Okay, so the Lord God formed from the ground all the animals and all the birds of the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would call them. The man chose a name for each one. He gave names to all the livestock, all the birds of the sky, and all the wild animals, but there was still no helper just right for him. So the Lord caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. While the man slept, the Lord God took out the man's rib and closed up the opening. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib. He brought her to the man. This is what the man says. "Alas, this one is bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. She will be called woman because she was taken from man." Okay, so you see what happened there? God presented Eve to Adam. So, ladies, God is preparing you to present you to your Adam. Okay? But you have to be ready so that you can acknowledge when you are in his vicinity and he can acknowledge when he's in yours. So, I'm saying this to say that if you are being accountable, doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing, your Adam is going to find you doing the work. He's going to find you doing what God has called you to do. In the last, maybe a couple of videos ago, I had said to you, what is the last thing God told you to do? Whatever it is that you are being told to do it. That is where your kingdom spouse is going to find you. That is where God is going to present you to him. Okay? He's doing work on you so that you could be presentable and ready for when he has you in. Because right now, you can't see each other because you're not doing the work. You got to be doing, he's going to find you doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then he's going to have that last. He's going to say, yep. There's something about her. I need to get to know her. I need to get to know her. That is her. That is flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. That is the one that is right for me. I have an unctioning. I need to get to know her. And that's when you're going to go into courtship phase. Okay. And again, I'll do another video. I think I did a video in the past about the difference between courtship and dating. But I'll touch on it again in another video. But then you're going to go into courtship, and courtship really essentially is he knows. He's just spending this courtship time learning you. Okay. And you him. Okay. And then you guys will get married. Let me tell you something. If you've been engaged for 5 years, that's not him. That's not her. Okay? You don't need to be engaged for no 3, 4, 5 years to anybody. Okay? When it's the right person, God moves it along smoothly and swiftly. Okay? Not that there's not going to be challenges. Like I always feel it necessary to mention that, because I don't want y'all to be living in la la land. It's not that there's not going to be challenges. There will always be challenges, because Satan is alive and thriving. Okay? And like I said, he's always trying to set you up for failure. So, it's his biggest thing. So you want to be caught doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? Your kingdom spouse will recognize you. God will unction to him who you are in the area in which he's called you to. So that might look like, did God tell you to write? Did he say, write a book? And you haven't done it yet? There's something about that book, babe. Same for you fellas. This is for both of us. This is for both sexes, okay? Did God tell you to go over there, to move over there? And you were like, oh no, like I just thought that was just a thought. Like I didn't really how would I do that? Start trying to do that, and you'll see how you'll do that. Whatever it is. And if you are unsure, like I said in the other video, it's really important that you get into your prayer closet. Get into a fast. It could be a 1-day fast even. Let God tell you what he wants you to do, but he needs to tell you what to do so that you could be doing it. Because when you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, that is where your kingdom spouse is going to find you. And chances are he or she is close around. Okay? But your taste hasn't changed yet because you're not finished doing your work. Now, doing the work is a lifelong process, but there's a portion of work that propels you to the next level that needs to be accomplished. So get at that. Okay? Get at that. Do what you're supposed to be doing and pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on. How kings move on a chessboard is very methodically, very intentional. They're not like a pawn where it can just be like, you know what I mean? They move very intentionally. They are very methodical. Pay attention to your surroundings. See who's not moving like the rest. One thing about your king and one thing about your queen is that they are going to be, they are going to be intentional about what they're doing. They're going to be intentional about what they're doing. Okay? They're not going to be moving quite just like everyone else. So look around. Look around. Look, your king or your queen could be someone you're calling a friend right now. You could have friend zoned this person. Okay? So anyway, that is all for today. I hope that was beneficial for y'all to know that you got to be accountable to what you're doing, right? Even your cognitive dissonance is your responsibility. So pay attention to that, okay? Actually, I wanted to read one more thing to you. Hold on. Okay, so this is Galatians 6, 4, and 5, okay? It reads, each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone, without comparing themselves to someone else, for each one should carry their own load. Okay? Why am I reading that to you? Because, again, it speaks to accountability. Okay? Your cognitive dissonance is your responsibility. You not seeing things as they are is your responsibility. So do the work on yourself so that you can be part of a union that's thriving, okay, and knows how to thrive. But we have to do that individually first before doing it as a unit, okay? So, and you know what? One more thing, okay? One more thing. Hold on. I want to read to you Matthew I want to read to you Matthew 5. Hold on. Because at the end of the day, all of this is for God to get his glory, right? This union is being put together for God to get his glory. It's actually not so much about you. It's for God to get. Matthew 5:16, okay? So, just want to read this to you and then for real, we're done here, okay? In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So that kind of goes back to what I was saying to you about be found doing what you're supposed to be doing, okay? Because God is going to get the glory. That's what it's about. It's about God getting his glory. He's putting these units together so that he can get his glory. Okay? So be found doing what you're supposed to be doing, working on yourself, building your relationship with God so that when he brings you together, you guys are a united force. Okay? So anyway, now that is it. So in the meantime, in between time, I love you, mean it, and I will see you in the next video.